Well, it's a beautiful good morning to you, though it's actually more frozen today than it was yesterday. I went straight out in my dressing gown and wellies to put food out for the birds because I woke up and I thought, oh my word, those poor little creatures waking up, they'd be starving. And I think from looking out this window, they're enjoying a really good breakfast. So there's the blackbird there, look, sitting in the tree. Let me just pop my glasses on and then I can just hone in. So we'll just, there's the little blackbird. One of the blackbirds anyway. Fluffed out its feathers, sitting in the tree. Blessed wee thing. It's not too bad being out in the cold if you've got a full belly. Gives you the energy to keep going. All the little birds down there. I want to say a special thanks, by the way, for those of you who have supported the Bealtaine project by visiting the Bealtaine Cottage Press, which is on the website bealtainecottage.com. Big thank you. Thank you so much. Bless all of you for supporting. A special thank you to Pia. Thank you so much, Pia, for your donation. That is very much appreciated. I think I'll go and look out the back door here. Oh, look who sat there behind the sofa listening to me. He says, Mum, where's my crackers? Darling, I can't get out now in the car to buy any more crackers for you, because when I went scooting out the front door this morning in my dressing gown and wellies, the first thing that happened was that I felt one of my feet begin to slip, and I realised that the ground had frozen. It had frozen underneath the snow, so there's compacted ice underneath the snow. So I just have to be very careful, that's all. Just very careful. Come on, Jack. He's reluctant to come out. So there's another layer of snow falling. Now I left the door of the tunnel open last night because I thought, well, if there are any birds around, you know, it'll be great just for them to be able to have a little bit of sanctuary, and of course the barn here, they're able to go in there. So I'll just show you how frozen it is here now. This is it's solid, see? Though it's not actually too cold. I mean, I've got, hold on, I'm going to see. Excuse me. I've got two traditional Irish pieces of clothing on. I'm just going to keep this lens pointed downwards until I get over to the tunnel. I'll show you in a moment just what I'm wearing. Oh, look at that! Just it slid off as I was coming into. Whew. There we go. So I have this, which is a very thick cotton shirt. Oh, look at that! Must be the vibration. It's a very thick cotton shirt, and it's actually a man's shirt because I don't know if they sell them for women. They are traditionally like a man's shirt, and it has like a little grandad collar on it. It's very thick cotton, very well made as well. And then on the top, of course, I've got this hand knit, very thick Aran jumper, and I've got a couple of vests on as well. So isn't this interesting? It could just be the vibration of me talking that's causing the snow to slide off. It's interesting. So I can't actually leave the house now at the moment. Oh, that's okay. I've got some potatoes and vegetables and lots of pulses and stuff. I mean, I have a good pantry, so I'm not going to worry about that. And I've got lots of tea and coffee and all the basic stuff, you know. It would be silly if you didn't have a little store of food, because no one really should rely as much as they do on the supermarkets. Come on in here, Jack. Come on in. You don't have to be told. He says, but I like being out. It's more exciting. So, this snow won't last for too long. I think it'll be gone by the weekend. We'll see. One of the things that's been happening, of course, with well, whatever one wants to call it. I mean, I'm not going to go into the climate change thing. You know what I'm like. I am as aware as any thinking person as to what is happening. But I know one of the things that is definitely there within the radar, because it's been tracked, is the jet stream. And the jet stream is now going in these big wavy lines, and I've talked about this before. And what it's doing, it's actually holding certain weather conditions in place for longer than what would be normal. But then I say, what is normal? You know, the earth is a living, sentient being, and there's a huge amount of change going on. And the one thing which is a permanent aspect of life on Earth is that Mother Earth is continually trying to balance things, as any good mother would. So everything that's happening is happening for a reason, and it's up to us to adapt as best as possible. So anyway, what's happening with the weather will soon be over, and I could be stood here in another few months saying, oh, this is a terrible heat wave we're having now. What else have we got to talk about but the weather? It's a huge topic of conversation in Ireland. It always has been. And probably in England and Scotland and Wales and most countries, it's always been a topic of conversation, because we know innately that the weather affects us. It's part of beginning to recognise that everything is connected, that nothing is operating out there or in here in a disconnected way. Look at all this. I think all this is sliding off the tunnel. It's almost like a message saying, now come on, get yourself over here into this tunnel and get a bit of work done. So maybe that's what I shall do. Yeah. I've got a couple of overripe bananas in the kitchen over there, in the cottage, and my daughter, my youngest daughter, insisted that I get a Nutri-Bullet, which will make shakes. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick some of this kale, which looks hale and hearty, or should we say kale and hearty. Look at this. I'm going to pick some of this. I'm going to go back over to the cottage. I'm going to wash it, put it into the Nutri-Bullet with the banana and a little bit of oat milk and some spring water. Let me see, what else can I put into that? Just conjuring up some tastes now. Maybe a little bit of ginger as well. Or maybe some... Anyway, definitely some chia seeds, some milled chia seeds. And any other interesting and energizing foods that I can find. I'm going to make myself a nice big batch of smoothies. Yeah, green smoothies. That's what I shall do. And then I can bring that back over and have it here on the table. I can just drink away as I work. That sounds like a plan, doesn't it? Oh, by the way, I must show you these. When I was digging out this, not digging out the bed, but, you know, pulling out the weeds. Let me put my glasses on. 2 potatoes. 2 potatoes which must have grown from a potato peel or something that was in the compost that I spread. Oh, and I was asked yesterday about why the soil is so bare. And it was only when I started thinking about it and I began to laugh and I thought, oh, this is kind of silly, because those of you who have been following, you know, the videos and the blog for years will know that the soil I started with here was just so compressed, so thin, so poor, well, so abused. I don't like the word poor, because poor is a man-made thing. Abused. And that says it like it is. That I've been probably innovated in some cases, because the chop and drop that I do is with everything. So I couldn't tell you how many times I've mulched with chop and drop, with chippings, with shreddings, with straw, with grass clippings, with anything that will biodegrade and feed Mother Earth. So basically, all the earth that I'm looking at in here is the result of that. And no sooner do I put a layer of mulch on top of the earth here than it very, very quickly, within inside a matter of a couple of weeks, will turn into earth. So you could say that all of that is mulch. Biodegrading, you know, rotting down, composting happens very quickly here. And again, you'll know that from my very laissez-faire approach to composting. I just pile it up. I pile it up in layers. I don't touch it. I leave it alone for 9 months or so. And voila, I've got this beautiful compost. So that's one advantage to living within this particular climate zone. And a lot of people say, what zone are you in? Oh, please, please, please make Google your best friend. Because when I go on to various people's sites, I very rarely ask a question that I can't find out the answer for myself. Well, someone asked me a personal question the other day. What was it? Oh, I can't remember. I thought to myself, well, that's too personal. I'll leave that alone. Right. So, we're up to 15 minutes on this. Is that 50? Yeah, 15 minutes. So we're going to walk back over to the cottage. And I'm going to get that smoothie underway. No, I need to pick some kale. So I'm going to finish the video now because I can't do things one-handedly. So, I'll leave you with the boy. Blessings to you all.